All right, let's see.
Over the weekend, a VTuber was arrested in England, in the UK, where there are much more strict, rightfully so, laws against content depicting minors as sexualized.
I don't know what dead domain means by rightfully so, but we have First Amendment protections in America to prevent the government from unreasonably censoring or arresting or silencing citizens who are just expressing their rights to speak, whether that be with art, expression, XYZ. I don't know what you mean by rightfully so, that drawn art is illegal in the UK, whatever.
What some would call child sexual abuse materials.
I wouldn't call this that
now,
if it's drawn and not referencing actual children.
There were two immediate reactions on the internet. One, from people who heard the story of somebody being arrested for having CSAM and went, probably deserved. Good. Probably good to get another one off the street.
Probably good. I mean, listen, if you're hearing that someone got arrested for quote unquote CSAM, it's probably, why did I say probably? It's probably always going to be good. All right. It's literally always going to be good for the most part. Okay. If it's saying, yeah, this person was arrested for CSAM, you're going to be thinking that has to deal with actual children and stuff. So yeah, probably more than likely always going to be good.
And the other was a contingent of blind nerds who immediately
took
the most defensive option possible.
Immediately.
Doubling and tripling down.
Tripling
the
down.
UK, in arresting somebody, was censorship incarnate.
Why are you doing the airspeak quotes? It literally is censorship incarnate. I mean, like, you're presenting it like it's just CSAM or whatever, but like reality shows, it's just drawings. No child are actually being referenced whatsoever. Yeah, I would say that this is censorship. Yeah, censorship. Yeah,
that it was this dystopian 1984 hellscape.
Yeah,
there is
kind of is
this thing that I've talked about.
It kind of is when you remember that they're doing the digital ID shit, so they want everyone's like identification link with their usage of the internet, so they can look for people like this who are engaging with controversial drawings and shit like that. Like, yes,
about it on here before. I talked about it.
Like, they were criminalizing like what, fictional incest, or like where you're pretending to be like you're like you're literally doing porn and you're like pretending to be underage. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just. Oh, the fucking laws and this shit are just so ridiculous.
A bit with the most recent video I did on Diana and Pragmata and the kind of controversy around that. I talked about it with the Chibi reviews thing. I talked about it with the Nux Taku thing. But let me make myself abundantly clear. Lolicon, here meaning, and I'm not just talking about Lolita clothing. I'm not talking about just cute anime girls or what the fuck ever. Somebody's gonna always come up in this conversation and be like, oh, well, actually, like, in Madoka Magica, nobody's sexualized. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about Lolicon. I am talking about the shit that in Nick Andros's video, we looked at fucking Nux Taku sharing with his audience. I am talking about content that is expressly made for one purpose, and that is to be a drawn representation of child sexual abuse. That's it. I don't care if it's not real, because it has very real effects on the people who consume it and the world around them.
Can I get a source on this? Can I get a... I mean, sure, not everyone is fucking immune to not being influenced by fiction or whatever like that. But the vast majority of humans are able to separate fiction from reality. We know this because every other fucking controversial thing that was wanting to be banned back in like the 1900s, you know, the satanic panic, gay panic, all that nonsense, it just goes on with this shit. Like, you're going to listen to heavy metal or a death band or some shit one time, and that's it. You're hooked. You're on drugs. You're gonna change your life and ruin your entire life. Like, yes, this is the mindset that has allowed governments to proactively crack down and censor things that they don't like. And they all go by the same circular logic and reasoning. This one is completely drawn. Not real, as you said. You said you don't care if it's not real. Well, actually, I do care that it's not real, okay? Because not real is actually way better than real. Like, I don't know how to explain that to you in a way where you won't be reactionary to hearing it. But yeah, I think it's a social net positive to society that even people who might actually be pedophiles, if they're engaging with content like this and not harming actual children whatsoever, have no interest in harming children or getting help, or are doing everything that they have to do to obviously keep themselves in check, and they're just engaging with fucking fiction because that's how they cope and deal with their thoughts and shit that they don't want. Well, hey, why it's that bad? It's a +1 to society, in my opinion. Less children are being harmed, in my opinion. But for some reason, you see it as, if you consume it, you're going to harm yourself or do it to someone else or hurt other people around you. And I don't think this is the case. This is just fiction. Like,
It is part of the normalization of pedophilia and attitudes that allow pedophilia to go on unfettered in society.
no. Okay. I'm going to grant you, because you said part of the reason. I'll grant you. Okay. Maybe part, tiny sliver. Sure. Whatever. I'll grant it to you. But I think the real issue right now is, one, religion. I think religion has a really bad influence on allowing this shit to continue and perpetuate, which is like actual pedophilic tendencies toward children, or real life children. Two, political power, or politicians and such are getting clearly exposed for having connections to like child sex traffickers or like actual pedophiles and shit, or even people who hold positions of power getting arrested for child sex crimes for like 6 months. Like, these things, I think these two things, religion and political people not getting punished for these things as they should, are the things that are actually leading pedophilia to be like normalized. Also, partially the societal factor of like misogyny and like how people don't think like women preying on boys is like the same thing. Like, it's bad. There's a whole bunch of shit that like societally we have to come to terms with and like start like talking about and understanding, because back then we were really fucked. We were just doing fucking whatever, apparently. Or people were marrying their cousins, people were marrying 13-year-olds or whatever and shit like that. Like, that's so fucking weird. I don't get it. But back then that shit was happening, and I don't know how to, I don't know how to like discuss these things now in like a more, how do you say, I don't know how to discuss these things now in a way where like it doesn't sound like you're advocating for those things to return, because I'm not. I'm glad those things are not happening, or are not happening as much as they used to or whatever. I don't even know why child marriage is still legal like everywhere. I don't know. Like, the world is so weird when it comes to this shit. I just don't think Lolicon has much to do with it at all. I just think that the world is just, it's just weird. The world is just weird. Like, I don't know. We have to like learn and understand these things and like have the political power and like influence to actually like change society in a way that like this type of behavior isn't perpetrated like generationally. It doesn't have to do with Lolicon. Honestly, I think that if fiction came around a lot sooner, probably have less of that happening. I don't know, but we'll see.
And people will always come back to this argument of being like, oh, well, if you start limiting this artistic expression, where does it stop?
This is a valid point of contention. This is a valid point of contention, because if you're saying that consuming Lolicon is going to make you want to harm a child, then you're giving leeway for every other piece of fiction where you're engaging in some kind of harmful action to be argued in a way where it's like, well, you consume this product or you consume this fictional content. How do we know that you're not going to do it in the future? Like, this is true. You need to contend with this.
Two things. One, not art. It's not art.
All right, this is just fucking stupid. Like, this is stupid. It's not art.
It's not art. There is nothing thought-provoking. There is nothing challenging.
Like, what?
There is nothing about it
What?
outside of the skill needed to make drawings that necessitates it being art.
So fucking stupid. Like, a lot of these fucking doujins, I'm telling you right now, a lot of these fucking doujins and stuff, they're literally like taking characters from like other series and making like alternative like stories and sometimes commentary, sometimes like joke references to other anime series and stuff like that, like during like the sexual acts or whatever. Like, it's not like just sex that goes on in like doujins and shit like that. It is literally like a whole like medium. Like, I don't know, like, it is art. It's art. I don't know why you're saying this. It's art. I don't care if your definition of it's not being art is because you find it yucky and icky. That's fucking stupid. Okay, it's art. I don't care that you don't like it.
Right. Like you get into these conversations online, and some of these fucking dorks, when you start some of these dorks, when you start insulting their pedophile cartoons, start talking about well, this is, you're not supposed to have freedom of expression, and they'll start talking about these fucking things like it's Finnegan's goddamn Wake. Like, you can't who's to judge really what is or isn't valid art? Who's really to judge what form art should take? It's like, well, you're not using this to tell stories. You're not using this medium creatively.
What? Like what? Like, hello?
You are solely using it to debase.
To debauch.
Maru Melon.
Who are we debasing and debauching? Who? The fictional characters that don't exist? The fictional characters that who are we debasing and debauching? Who? Tell me what's happening. Oh my god.
Landra, I'm going to be honest, having interacted with Lolis, I do not see them making an arrest over a report about an artist like this, and thus they were involved in real CSAM. Please note, I hate Walicons. So you've followed the clues I've laid out for you. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And a lot of people immediately chimed in because so many people decided to make videos and completely performatively be like, we stand with Mimi and all this other bullshit. So for days, pedophiles and pedophile defenders were crashing out in my mentions on anybody who decided to say, good, fuck them. If they got arrested for the shit, they probably did more. Which
it's such a stupid.
A bunch of other VTubers who are not pedophile freaks have decided to say, like, yeah,
Jesus
I know a person
Christ.
who used to work in criminal this or used to work with police departments this, and let me tell you, generally speaking, someone said,
like, what's happening? What are you saying? Like, what? Hello? What's being said?
Saying that it was a drawing, so who was it hurting? Then they were told who it was a drawing of and doubled down. Yeah, it's just a drawing, so who's it hurting? The idea of, and maybe it's just an American thing because we are brought up to be so fucking selfish to only think about if something is not detrimental in a way we can see, then, oh, it doesn't hurt us. It doesn't hurt anyone around us. And the first thing that you should internalize, if anybody says, well, no, it's actually not hurting anybody, it's just a drawing, who's it hurting? It's hurting you.
What? I'm oh my fucking, I'm fucking dead. Like, what's happening? Like, what's happening? What is being said in this video so far? I don't even know what, like, I don't know what's being said right now. I understand this is just a rant and they're just fucking speaking off the top of their head, like pretty much like I am right now or whatever. But holy fucking shit, like, what is being said right now? And like, nothing is being said. They're just like, Lolicon's bad. I don't think Lolicon's art. If you're consuming Loli, hurting yourself. Like, holy
You're
shit.
not hurting anybody. It's just a drawing. Who's it hurting? It's hurting you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's hurting you.
If you are looking at sexualized images of children,
Huh? Whoa.
if that
Whoa. They load it so hard. Oh my
is
god.
what is getting you off,
Oh my god.
fictional or not, like why?
What do you mean fictional or not? I think there's a clear difference between busting a nut to something fictional and not busting it, and busting a nut to something that's not fictional, okay? And I think there's a huge difference between looking at something fictional and looking at something that's not fictional. Like, what? These two, like hold on, what is being said here?
You are looking at sexualized images of children.
like what? Not even, people don't even see these characters as children, like 99% of the time. Like, even if they are like anime children a majority of the time or whatever, like most people don't even see them as children. Like, they just see them as fictional characters. Like, do you really think lolicons go outside and be like, yo, there's so many lollies? Like, no. At least I haven't. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, no one goes outside and like fucking puts their fucking anime terminology and places it on people who are outside of their fucking bubbles and shit like that. It's not how the community works, or it's not how it's supposed to work, I believe.
If that is what is getting you off, fictional or not, like why? It is tearing
why
away at your own fucking humanity.
What? Where? Can I get proof? Can I get studies proof? What? If there's anything that I've seen from research, is that engaging with fiction is actually a super healthy for humans to do. It alleviates a lot of our stress and like and a lot of like factors that we keep built up inside that like humans typically don't express. Like for example, like just violent video games is always going to be the easiest fucking term. Like, we don't even have to do the violent video game thing. We can go violent movies, okay? People love violent movies, action movies. People's heads are getting blown off in like realistic fucking ways in those movies. And even though they know it's all fictional and fake, they're there for the movie to see that kind of content because they're not going to do it in real life. They don't want to do it in real life. Sometimes people do want to do it in real life, which is another thing on its own. But like for the most part, they're dissuaded from the fucking consequences, which is like good. The fact that humans can understand their own emotions and own attractions and things that and differentiate their fictional attractions from like their real life attractions and like understand that and stuff like that. That's good. I think that's awesome. I think that's what like humans do best at. And like you claiming that engaging with certain fiction you find disgusting and icky and shit is tearing away at people's humanity. No. What you need to understand, Dead Domain, and other people who are like Dead Domain, you are tearing away at the humanity of other people, okay? Fiction is the most ethical form of entertainment that we can have. Nobody is being harmed. If someone is actually being referenced, like someone specifically is actually being referenced, that is when I believe that the content becomes harmful and it starts like getting into real world territory because it's no longer fiction at that part. Same with like super ultra realistic depictions or whatever, like visual depictions or whatever, because you're trying to breach the realm from fictional to realistic, which is harmful and bad. But like you don't have this view that I have. You don't have this understanding of what would make this artwork bad. So you're just like, you engage with this content, so you're a pedophile and you're less of a human than I am, and I just going to never listen to anything that you say, and everything that you say on this subject is just to defend pedophilia and XYZ, when like, no, that it's really important that governments don't have the power and the ability to just crack down and get rid of whoever they don't like over drawings or depictions that other people would be like willing to just throw them in jail for. Like, that's just stupid. Like, if I'm writing a story that involves none of the names or likeness of anyone else in the real world, but I still somehow get arrested for that because it's like depicting something in real life that's harmful, that's just fucking stupid. That's stupid. That makes no fucking sense. You're just telling people you might as well just go do that thing in real life because you're going to get the same exact sentence, whether it's fictional or not. Does that make sense to you? That doesn't make sense to me. That sounds detrimental to society to me. That sounds really bad.
To debase yourself in this way, to entertain the notion of something so fucking evil for no other purpose than your own pleasure.
Like, that's not
like that.
No, it's not for pleasure. Like, this is actually, like, it's not. Oh wait, no. You have to defend this content because it is fundamentally a pillar that will be used to domino effect every other piece of media down the line. If they can somehow justify that engaging with fictional content is indicative of something that you're actually going to do in real life when it has nothing to do with anyone in real life, you are just asking, you're begging for any government around the world to just be like, well, I mean, we've already got a ruling on this that says this, so why can't we get rid of other media we don't like? It's indicative of something you're going to do in the future, correct? This is bad. If there's no victim and no crime being committed, or like no like actual like crime being committed, or an intention or intentionally being committed, or like they're intending to actually do something in the future, like if there's nothing like that going on, then why should anyone get criminally punished for it? Sure, mandate they go to fucking therapy or something maybe, but like criminal punishment and locking people up for fiction? I don't know.
That's what it is. It is not fucking the thing. Every argument comes down to with them, they want to make it sound like every depiction of pedophilia that their fucking anime cartoons that they clutch so close, they want to make it sound like it's fucking Nabokov, right? Like they want to make it sound like it's, oh well, actually it's Lolita, and actually there's a much deeper story here. It's like, but it's not. Like, first and foremost, it hurts you, and then you expand that into a conversation about society.
Oh.
The fact that so many people now, well, who's it hurting, is how so many problems in the world continue to go unanswered.
No. This is not the fucking same. This is not the fucking same. Okay? They're asking, who is it hurting, because it doesn't involve anyone real or anything like that whatsoever. So yes, who are these drawings hurting? Who are the drawings hurting? Tell me who the drawings are hurting. Who is it hurting? It's hurting your feelings or whatever. It's making you feel uncomfortable using the internet, seeing drawings you don't like or whatever. Tough fucking luck. Freedom of fucking speech. I love freedom of expression, freedom of speech. Thank you, America. Thank you so much for being so based and so fucking awesome, right? Where you can just block people if you don't want to see artwork that you don't want to see. If I don't want to see someone's takes or whatever, I can just block them. I can just not listen to them. I can just be like, yeah, this person's really bad. And if it actually has to deal with like real world stuff, I can probably like expand on that to like, you know, real world policies that would like clamp down on like real world bad things that are happening. But if it's like fiction and shit, what am I going to do? I'm going to criminalize using my mind and fantasizing and XYZ. Like, where does it end? Where does it end? You're saying that this content just is harmful to me whatsoever. So like, is this where this is your standard? Is you're going to claim that the content is harmful, so it's just we have to get rid of it? And that me asking who is it harming because I don't see these drawings as actual children or anything like that, you're going to be like, this is how societal problems perpetuate and continue.
Why so many things continue to hurt people completely unabated. And I wanna make that my position on Lolicon real fucking clear up.
All right, come on.
Because I always get called, here's the other thing, I always get called a Puritan, which is very funny. Because I, despite being a hashtag woke TM leftist streamer, I am pretty open-minded about shit. I'm
Uh,
pretty
sure, you might be open-minded about stuff, but you're probably optics cucked on this position. And if not optics cucked, you're just so focused on things that you're not supposed to be focused with that you shouldn't even engage with this content. So like it's fine.
degenerate about shit. If people have ever seen, like, there have been multiple times I've had to delete VODs or clip stuff out because of what I've accidentally scrolled on while scrolling Twitter. Like, the idea of me being a Puritan or me clutching my pearls over something sexual. Oh.
I don't what is being said here. I just don't know what's being said here.
Like
Yes, like what? You're okay with other debaucherous, crazy shit, but like when it comes to something that you don't understand and you believe is just morally bad and harming people, and you have nothing to show, nothing to prove this or whatever, like you just have the moral say and arbiter. I don't get it.
A lot to shock me. That doesn't mean that I think literally everything should be acceptable.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think everything should be acceptable. Sure, true.
Standards.
So I have, yes, standards, yes.
That we enact in society,
yes,
for the good of everybody. Limiting the spread and proliferation of something that specifically targets and victimizes children.
Oh my fuck! They're not. It's not. It's not. It's so weird. Like, we start talking about standards and not believing that everything should be okay, and we're like, true. This we have these standards. We have the no real people are involved whatsoever, and nothing is realistic enough to where like you could assume that it's like an actual child being fucking harmed, like Diana from Pragmata. Like you probably don't want to sexualize that fucking 3D model whatsoever. Like, no, even if it's fake at that point, like you just don't want to, because it's potentially indicative of pedophilic tendencies IRL or whatever. But like, then you're like, it's good to limit the spread of material that depicts the abuse. Actually, let me hear exactly.
Of something that specifically targets and victimizes children.
Something that specifically targets and victimizes children. Loli specifically targets and victimizes children. Can I hear that one more time?
Everybody. Limiting the spread and proliferation of something that specifically targets and victimizes children, regardless of being fictional.
Oh.
That proliferates attitudes.
Oh.
That turns victimizing the helpless into a fetish.
Oh. Kind of like when you're like, kind of like sadism, when you're like, oh, you're engaging with this content that I don't like, so I can just do whatever and say whatever, and it's okay because you're engaging with bad content.
That then enables people who already have that fetish.
It enables them. Okay.
To live out their fantasies. I think is objectively fucking evil.
What? All right. Well, I don't even want to like watch the rest of the video. It's so fucking stupid. This is just stupid. I've been streaming for 32 minutes. How long have I been watching it? 8 minutes and 34 seconds. I don't even know. I probably wasted a couple minutes in the start of the stream. But like, what are we saying right now? I think that this content, we should target getting rid of this content, because some people have fetishes that society doesn't agree with, and we shouldn't advocate for or proliferate, which we're not doing, by the way, with Lolicon or anything like that. But people are going to have these fetishes, and they're going to engage with this content, and then they're going to live out their fantasies and XYZ. You're Puritan. This is conservative thought looping.
That's what we're talking about here. When you get into arguments with these people online, they come with a couple pre-packaged ones.
Okay.
The first,
like, your arguments aren't pre-packaged. Like, I'm gonna
is that, well, you play violent video games.
Okay, let's go. That's me. I mean, that's like the most simple one to do.
That violent video games argument
I'm going to call her right now. She's going to say that you're not sexualizing it or whatever.
And it tells you how fucking normalized it is in their own circles that they can look at what are horrendously vile depictions of just outright abuse. Just vile shit. And they can look at that and be like, yes, this is actually the same when you run over somebody in Mortal Kombat.
I told you it has to do with the sexualization acts. I told you.
But you're
I told
you're
you.
not a murderer, are you?
Yes, yeah, you have to engage with these thought processes. You know why, Dead Domain? You know why? Because legally speaking, that is how they're going to be engaging with the law. Okay? Governments are going to be like, well, we saw that engaging with sexualized elements in fantasy is indicative of something you're going to do in real life. So what does this say about other elements of fantasy, like violent video games, where you're constantly killing hundreds of thousands of people, sometimes in the most brutally realistic, grotesque ways imaginable? What does that say about someone's potential of doing? Or someone's going out to watch Saw, the movie Saw, right? And they're looking at, they're watching Saw like every fucking week or whatever, and they just love the brutality and the gore and how the criminals get away with what they're doing in the movie. What does that say about what they're going to do in real life? Yes, you have to engage with this thought process, Dead Domain. I don't care how fucking cringe and stupid it is to you. You have to engage with it.
This is the same as me looking at my fucking pedophile cartoons.
Like, it's so stupid. Like, oh my god.
No, actually. There is an abstraction. When you interact with a piece of media, like a film or a TV show or a video game even.
Oh, okay.
There is distance between you and the screen.
So there's not distance between you and the screen with Loli? So wait, are you about to describe every single factor for what makes video games and such not the same as Loli, but everything that you're going to describe is going to also cover Loli, but you're going to have something, there's issues with like the sexualization aspect of like fictional characters?
That is filled with storytelling, that is filled with your interaction with.
Yeah, storytelling happens in Loli dojins, yeah.
With the medium.
Yeah, people played games like Blue Archive or whatever, or it's like Loli and oriented.
That is filled with your attention to detail.
Yeah, these stories and such have pretty in-depth detail. Like, there are people who make dojins, like Loli dojins, with like actual stories and shit, like written out. Yes.
When you watch a violent video game or a violent movie, you are not, most of the time, most people.
Most people, yes. Yeah, I love how we have to give the caveat, like I also give the caveat as well. You have to always give the most people caveat.
Do not watch a Scorsese movie. This is an example I gave. And when a character gets got in a Scorsese movie, your thought isn't to pause and zoom in on the blood splatters and to be like, oh yeah, like this is real. No,
This is stupid. This is just fucking stupid. This is so stupid. It's just, it doesn't matter. You're
thinking about the role that has in the story.
No, that's not always. Most, I guess if we're going by the most people, I don't know. Like,
Because
it's just so stupid.
There for the violence. The violence is incidental. It's part of.
Yeah. If I'm jerking off to something and I'm looking for my preferred tags and it just happens to have a Loli in it or whatever, like, am I there for the Loli or not? Like, what? Like, I'm so confused. Like, what's... like, I'm so confused. Like, what?
The overall design. It's part of the interaction. But it is abstracted within the whole. It is the same thing with video games. You are not solely, you might like a Mortal Kombat fatality. You might like the way it feels to break people's bones in fighting games and decapitate ninjas in Ninja Gaiden. But you are not going solely for the violence. Because there are other...
Yeah, this video is just... This video is just retarded. I'm gonna say it. Yep, it's retarded. This video is retarded. I'm not watching any more of this. This is retarded. This is retarded. I'll fucking upload a fucking response or whatever. I don't know. Like, this is just retarded. Like, this is, yeah. Anyways, I couldn't get through the whole fucking video. This shit's fucking stupid. Okay, I want to finish the video. I had to calm down and like actually take a little breather, take a little break. Take a little break because this video has been dog shit so far, but let's continue.
Because there are other things that are either barriers or incidental along the way.
Huh.
If you go and play a video game just for violence, do you hit
Or what other barriers? Oh, wait a minute.
for the violence? Because there are other things that are either barriers or incidental along the way. If you go and play a video game just for violence, do you hit the first jumping puzzle and go, fuck this shit? Like,
no, you actually do the jumping puzzle to get to the violence because you're trying to get to the violence. Like, I'm gonna be real. When I play COD now, I don't even touch the story whatsoever. I don't play the campaign whatsoever, right? I want to get into the game so I can quick scope and use snipers and kill people with snipers. That's like what I find fun about like first person shooters and stuff like that. But like not everyone has that same kind of experience.
no, because you're not there just for that. You are there.
Yeah, not everyone is just there for the lolly. Like some people just have like me, for example, like I'll search for my preferred tags, and if the story happens to have lolly in it, I don't care. Like it has my preferred tags. I'm looking for something else, and most of the time I'm focused on like art style and stuff like that, and like how the artist draws, and maybe like story elements that they're including in the dojins, because like I think like certain types of column drawn a certain way is just like better than others. Like I don't like what I just
for the cohesion of gameplay and story. The difference between those things,
it's just so annoying how I'm like talking about these things so like so fluently and so like with so much nuance and like insight and like things I'm like actually interested in. Like when it comes to like fictional content, you just are like saying, no, you can never do anything that I'm doing right now.
is not just the context of how you're interacting with them. The difference between those things is that you are an active participant. Because you are using these comics as simple pornography.
Are you not an active participant of jerking off to fiction or reading the comic to get to the part where you can jerk off or what? Like what? I'm so confused. Like, yes, people do go to these comics to read actual fan stories and actual fan fiction and actual like fan works and stuff like that. Like people want to read fiction that has nothing to do with like real life for the most part, and they want a space to kind of engage with it in. And if they don't want to see something, they're not going to piss and moan about it. If it's fictional and has nothing to do with real life elements, they're just not going to look at it, which everyone should just do, in my opinion. If you don't like seeing something, block it out. Don't look at it. Don't engage with it. Just fucking go get away from it. If you don't engage with it whatsoever, you're probably not going to see it.
That's what these fucking freaks are using it for. They are using it as pornography.
What? Okay, what is wrong about jerking off to fictional anime? I'm gonna say it. It's egregious. Okay, it sounds so egregious, but you have to say it. What is wrong with jerking off to fictional anime children that are not referencing actual children whatsoever? I don't understand this. I don't understand why we have to pretend like we have to piss and moan and validate every other theory. Like, oh yeah, if you engage with video games and XYZ, like you're probably going to end up doing the same thing. Like you don't think you're doing that, but by engaging with this sexualized element fucking argument that you're engaging with, you are absolutely validating this type of thought process, that thought crimes are real.
There is no abstraction. There is no larger point. There are no other moving pieces.
Like, how? Like, this makes no sense. There's like literally a 10-part series of like how fucking bad this guy wants to get this fucking Loli Baba pregnant, and like there's like a whole fucking 10 fucking story arc so far, right? Of like her not wanting to get pregnant and shit, but him also wanting to like be with her forever, but him being a human and her being a fox spirit, and she lives for like hundreds of thousands of years or whatever, and he only lives for like, you know, the average human lifespan. Therefore, she doesn't want to have children with that character because of the pain of losing him in the future when he grows old, and then eventually down the line their like relationship grows in such a way that like they do actually try to get, you know, pregnant. Like his actual story, like it's a 10 fucking thing story, like, and it has my preferred tags, okay, cumflation. Okay, like it's a 10 thing story, like it's a 10 thing story, and it actually has something written out. Like I don't understand, like what.
There was no space between them and the screen. They are allowed through these fucking comics.
There is no space between you and the screen. What?
And these images, I'm not going to call them art because I said
Like,
they're not, to live out their depraved rape fantasies. That's what it is.
When I play GTA, I play GTA to live out my depraved mass murderous fantasies of murdering everyone I come across. Like, you see how stupid this shit is? Like, you think you're so smug. Every time I pause the fucking video, I swear to God, it's like you're going into a smug fucking grin.
Chibi Reviews was one of the first people and the loudest voices to come out and shine a light on.
Yeah, Chibi Reviews, don't remind me.
On this important issue of this person, Mimi Yagami, the VTuber that was arrested in the UK. But Chibi has something else to share because, as is usually the case with these online outrage
I'm gonna explain this early. TLDR, Chibi Reviews is vehemently performative and a grifter, in my opinion. He absolutely backed away and like walked away from the situation because he saw information on Kiwi Farms saying that Mimi was trans, and he just did not want to defend them anymore because of that one reason. If you actually look into the information provided, there is nothing real or anything like that being referenced whatsoever. So Chibi was absolutely wrong. He has said that he was wrong and updated people on this. So
that are based in nothing but petty grievance and impulse. They didn't have the full story. Yeah, it turns out that it wasn't just an issue of censorship.
It was just as it is so far.
Put a bow on the subject.
Again, I'm going to say this again. You can look on Chibi's account. I mean, you probably shouldn't. You shouldn't listen to Chibi anymore. I think Chibi is going to just cause more harm and bring more negative attention to these spaces because he's more focused on money and his other nonsense. And I really think that he just like literally just took a moral cuck position to not defend this type of stuff because he found out that Mimi was trans, and he's also going through his own like stuff with Kiwi Farms, and he was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with it anymore, so maybe this will help if I talk positively about them.
It's the slippery slope art argument, and people ask, well, where will it stop? It always stops somewhere. It stops somewhere. You know how we have rules, we have laws on pornography?
Yeah.
That you can't have CSAM?
This isn't CSAM. You know why CSAM is bad is because it's actually harming children, and it's abusing children, and it's victimizing children who cannot consent to sex in any way, shape, or form. And it's usually done by predatory adults or people in the family who are usually doing these things, or people who have a position of power over these children. Like, I don't understand what, like, yes, we have laws because yes, that's bad. Children can't consent to sex. But in fiction, nobody has consent, or fictional characters. Like, doesn't matter what you're doing when you're drawing something. Again, the reason for this being because there are different elements that are being engaged with when you're doing fictional content versus realistic content, and there are barriers in place for preventing harm realistically in the real world that in fiction do not apply, because you can draw anything. These characters can have any age that you want. They don't even match human anatomy one-to-one majority of the time. Actually, like all the time for the most part. Yeah.
And we as a society, with the exception of some particularly uptight assholes who are trying to, along with tech oligarchs, take all of our rights away and all that shit,
True, but they're like actually doing AI stuff, which is bad because it's training off like actual people and actual. Like, you see what I mean? Like it's actually harming actual people in that case with like what these people are doing, like with AI stuff. Like that's bad. You don't want that. It's not like fiction at that point. There's like actually like real life elements, like realistically, like speaking.
Aside from that, you can pretty much publish most stuff as long as animals and kids aren't involved. And I feel like that's a pretty good standard we've set.
Like what? That's just that like.
So this is, I don't know.
I don't care what your fictional standards are. Your personal fictional boundaries are never going to be the same as someone else's, okay? Something that you see in fiction is not going to register in my head the same way you see it. I'm sorry.
Anything about these people. This is just a good summary of what's happening. To briefly recap,
No, this was completely overblown. And this was also someone taking the Kiwi Farm stuff at face value and just blowing it up. And yeah.
He was a VTuber, was arrested by the UK for possessing doujins and other anime paraphernalia. They forced her to dox her real name on social media. As a result of this injustice, thousands of people leapt to her defense, calling the UK police incompetent fools for harassing a harmless woman possessing innocent material. Now, this was the other thing, is that it was depicted as, and you can tell, by the way, that anybody defending Loli is going to be the most disingenuous.
It's not disingenuous. I'm sorry you don't want to hear it. I'm sorry you don't want to hear it, and you think it's cringe, and you think it's bad, and you think it's just immoral or whatever. Guess what? I don't care. I don't care. You have to contend with it. It is fiction. It is a drawing. It is a drawing. I'm not going to say what you want me to say just because you want me to say it. Like, yeah, sorry. That's not how things work.
Continuous liar in the fucking world.
It's not lying. They are drawings.
By the way.
They are drawings. They are drawings.
They didn't actually say what she had or what she had linked or what she had drawn publicly before.
Well, she didn't draw
I'm not going to show them.
Apparently she didn't draw anything. She was just commissioning stuff and like liking stuff on Pixiv and stuff.
Them on screen, but I, through very brief searches, was able to find things she had commissioned from artists that are fucking disgusting.
Oh,
just
wow.
fucking disgusting.
Wow.
Just fucking horrendous shit, dude.
Wow.
But people were pitching it and depicting it as, oh, this innocent artist just had all of her manga.
Yes, you just said it. They commissioned art that you could see and you thought it was disgusting, and now you're going to lay out that they got all their stuff taken away and stuff.
And anime taken. It was just manga and anime. This allowed so many fucking...
No. All her stuff got taken, like from devices and like her manga and anime stuff. Like, yeah, all that stuff got taken. Yes, that is egregious. She also apparently had to put her name on the internet, which is egregious, and has to like follow pre-bail conditions and XYZ. I don't know, like it's bad.
Lolicon defenders and pedophiles to be like, all of these normies think all anime is the same, so if you don't stand up and defend these people, oh, they'll come for you next.
They will. You're so oh my god, you think you're safe. It's so funny. Are we trans? Aren't we both trans or something? Like, holy fucking shit. You think they aren't coming for us?
I've had people legitimately, when I've spoken about this shit, I've had people legitimately say that I need to be careful because I like Darkstalkers, so I could get canceled over the character of Lilith, a character from a 30-year-old arcade game that like nobody has had a problem with the design of. It's like, no, I actually don't think so.
What? Lilith from Darkstalkers? Well, let me look this up. Who cares? I like, who cares? Like, what?
I actually don't think so, but
no, I feel like you're just saying something egregious.
But it's important to know. It is important to remember that they're going to reach for anything to make this pedophile shit seem more normal. But
no,
it's not.
No one's saying this is normal.
When somebody gets arrested, turns out it's usually for a good fucking reason. It's not just the UK deciding to hone in on
And I know the reason.
Anime fan.
So far, I'm seeing that you say the reason is that she commissioned art that was gross, and
Jordan, despite spending several £1,000s of the taxpayers, blah blah blah, we already did that. Jordan's identity as a pedophile is much more relevant here. This is not a term I use lightly because it is thrown around far too often. However, Jordan is extremely blatant about his vile predilections. Within hours of his announcement of arrest on Twitter, KF members had already found his Pixiv account. Here is where things get truly disturbing. For years, Jordan... So again, I need y'all to understand what fucking Lolicon fans will lay down for. Like how they will go.
I just don't care. I really just don't care. Like I just like that domain is just, this is such a bad video in my opinion.
In them. Again, they will never tell you actually.
I don't care. Like I will literally just tell you actually anything. I just don't care. Jesus. Bye.